Welcome to the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County. My name's John.
And I'm Sarah.
And we thank you.
A Tuesday night.
It is a Tuesday night. And we thank you for joining us here on a Tuesday night. And today, to start it all off, and we'll get to the election stuff in a minute because there's no real results yet.
Yes, exactly.
But the big news of today was Board of Soups and Board of Soups.
Crowded.
It
Crowded
was
boardroom
literally
today.
Standing room only at the Board of Supervisors today. It was, and from following the board meetings, today's meeting had as much vitriol and angst as I've seen.
As you've ever seen.
Yeah, it's, and this was primarily over the Ridge at Trinitas project. And it was all on water, and it was and a lot of other issues. There was it started off in public comment by the owner of the Valley Springs Lumber Company, was up there saying that how the slow or no growth environment has adversely affected his business. He's had to lay off 11 employees and everything else, and then it started basically a back and forth on different issues, and it was very heated to say the least. And it was
at issue, though. We should probably visit
what
was actually at issue.
At stake
is that it was the question of whether the golf course should be included in the environmental impact review / report. As well as the homes. There are about 13 homes. It's a gated community down there.
Right.
And at issue was whether or not the golf course, which actually predated the development, should be included in the environmental impact review report. And so the Board of Supervisors were actually, that's what was at discussion today, and that is what they voted on today. And it was a 3-2 vote. It was not unanimous.
It was 3-2 vote.
But the golf course be included.
And the kicker is the golf course will now be included at pre-golf course levels, which means going back water levels or just pre-golf course levels in the environmental impact.
Levels.
And this opens up the door, however remote, that eventually they could give the project the death sentence in some ways.
Well, it depends on what they find in the EIR report.
But it does open up that door in some ways, because if they would have included it in the EIR, as my understanding goes, at post-golf course levels, then by de facto the course exists.
Well, yes, then you don't include the golf course in the EIR.
Right.
Essentially.
You include the homes and some of the other stuff like that.
And what sort of impact the homes would have, but you don't include the aggregate of the golf course and the homes. Right.
And there was compelling testimony from people that live near the area about how much their water levels have dropped in years. There's a large group of adjacent homeowners that say that their water levels have dropped.
Well, they've been having issues with their wells for many, many years. I remember 9-10 years ago they were having issues with their wells. So there's water issues in that part of the county anyway.
And I think that's the issue of, is the Trinitas project getting an unfair blame for those, and you don't know. And I don't think there's any way for anybody to truly know. In fact, there was a grape farmer that lives just over the ridge. It's technically in San Joaquin County, but he has 300 acres of grapes, and he pumps 20 million gallons of water a week.
Out of where?
Groundwater.
Oh, okay.
Yes, to irrigate just his 300 acres of grapes, and that's pure groundwater. So what's happening is the entire aquifer is getting, and he actually testified that the impact of just the golf course itself, I think I forget what the gallon levels for that is, minimal compared to his grapes.
Well, what you have to remember as well, and we are getting on a little bit of a tangent here, is that even if you pump the groundwater out to water the grapes or water the golf course, it actually filters back down into the water table.
Right, but then there's going to be the other argument that says, how can you prove that? What about the stuff that evaporates? What about the...
Well, it's minimal evaporation.
I know.
There's multi-sides to this, and it will be interesting to see what the EIR actually turns up when it is completed. And basically, it was a 3-2 vote with Supervisors Claudino and Thomas voting not to include the golf course in the EIR for Trinitas, and the other 3 voted for it. So we just have to wait to see what the EIR actually turns up.
Yeah, and it will be interesting because there's the sides are fairly entrenched on this, and it's let the EIR process go. But I guess what it will do is now that the EIR and stuff is going forward, it's going to slow it down a little bit. It's going to slow down the pace of that project in a measurable degree. So. Other interesting things at the Board of Soups was... Saddleback.
Gotta go.
There you go.
That's right. In San Andreas, 133 plus or 130 plus homes. I thought it was 133 homes out there where the old airport used to be in San Andreas. Concentrated development in that area. Took its step forward today and was approved.
We talked to the developer afterwards, and he says it'll probably be about 18 months until they actually break ground. I think this is where they got their parcel map, so to speak. So now they can start going forward a little more. But that one looks like it's going forward, and I think that will be a good thing for San Andreas because it's a project that I think everyone involved, from a lot of different parties, thinks that makes sense. It's moderately priced homes. It's largely an infill project, and also it's the type of development that the county actually needs, rather than what we were joking earlier in a post on a kind of a build it and they will come type of a development, which there's been a lot of those, right? Field of dreams, a need as opposed to field of dreams, so to speak. And that's not to denigrate Field of Dreams projects, but this is one of more of a
well, it's a typical subdivision, so it's maximum use of land, and infrastructure, and those issues are all included in that particular development. So that got an okay. Also, Board of Supervisors, Sheriff's Department got a $10,000 grant from the Lacey and Connor Search and Rescue Fund, and this is not the first one that they've received, but it will help with diving investigations. So.
Because that team actually helped out on that, didn't they? Did they actually go down? Did anybody from Calaveras County? Do you remember? Did they go down and contribute on that?
I don't know if they did. I can't remember. I guess we should have looked at that.
Oh, we should have. Yeah, we should have. Yeah.
But I mean, our search and rescue guys have enough trouble. I mean, not trouble, but they have enough work cut out for them when there's people in New Maloney's.
And we're just...
And I shouldn't laugh, but, they have enough on their plate.
If you see me looking down at my screen right here, what we're doing is this is the... what you'll notice for the pinetree.net, we will have embedded at the top a link to the county government election results. And the county government is very good at keeping this page current. Now, traditionally... when we've been there, is usually lags. They'll hand out the precinct reports. They're maybe 10-15 minutes, so you're getting something probably 10 or 15 minutes at the most after the reporters the full reporters. And
but right now there are no election results. Obviously,
nothing so far.
In. Jenny Lind Veterans Memorial District, Measure C for 0 of 14 reporting, and bond measure J, which is the jail bond, is 0 of 30 reporting.
So, if you're going to watch the Measure J, then
go to our site. And check it out. And also, news is that I guess the Calaveras Celtic Fair is becoming the Sonora Celtic Fair again.
Once again, huh?
Once again. Apparently, well, those of you who have been following the Celtic Fair for many years know that it started out in Sonora, and then came in its 13th season to Calaveras, the fairgrounds, and now this year, 2008, it is moving back in March.
And what are the real reasons?
Apparently, you want my personal opinion?
Sure. Yeah.
No, the official reasons are that it's closer to motels and that type of thing, and also there's a lot of music there, and there's better venues at the Sonora Motherlode Fairgrounds
For music?
for music,
Huh.
and also from actually attending the event this year, there's actually covered seating at Sonora. And
So if they have inclement weather? The old rain and snow angle, huh?
It was raining this year, at least at the Jousting Festival,
Okay.
and I think that really affected the turnout.
Uh-huh.
Yes, people, don't really want to sit in the rain to watch the jousting. So they're
I
moving.
see.
They are moving. And you're looking at the election. Are you thinking there's going to be more elections?
We posted it up here, so this is what you'll see on the site.
Yeah.
So that'll be embedded at the top. And also, Board of Supervisors, one of the first things that came up is grading ordinance issues. Now, this one to where...
We're bouncing around a little bit tonight.
Well, yeah, this was actually came up before the Trinitas thing, so most people would think it came chronologically first, but probably not as much impact. The thing on this one now, I think there was a little bit of public angst on it, is right now there was some community groups that wanted to have it so that Public Works would have to ensure that every piece of the grading and landscaping would have been done before they would sign off on an occupancy permit.
Okay.
And if they would have adopted that language, what it does is it would take away a little bit of the discretion from the county to be able to make adjustments. And the former head of Public Works, Rob Houghton, was there along with the current one. And what they said is they want to be allowed some discretion, and it made sense what they were talking about. Is let's say they have a home finished up, everything's basically done, but it's January, so you can't put in some of the plants, some of the things that you would have. Are you going to deny people's an occupancy permit so they can move into a new house? And so politically, so they want the discretion of saying, look, this is they've met the intent of it, so we're going to give them an occupancy permit. So they can move in. Otherwise, because of the growing, the cycles in certain parts of the county, if you adhere to the pure letter of it, it would make it to where I think what they felt would have been an undue hardship on certain individuals. So
people moving into their houses, those would be the individuals. Yes.
The hardship would have been on them.
Yes.
Yes, it would have.
So what did the board decide?
It was basically so that it will be, that they're going to stick to a little bit of a looser language.
Okay.
So which is a good thing.
And that was a 5-0 vote?
I don't know on the vote total on that one.
Okay. It's always interesting when you sit in a boardroom and you see which supervisors vote yay and nay. So are you looking for other stuff?
No, I was just looking for one thing there.
This is a loose news broadcast today.
Anyway, it's mostly Board of Supervisors, and it was a loose Board of Supervisors.
It was Board of Supervisors too.
And this is one that I think you'll want to watch the replay either on Channel 9 or on the website.
That's right.
To be able to get a feel for the actual flavor of these meetings, because I think it's indicative in a lot of ways of what's going on behind the scenes at the county.
Yes.
So it's and also another thing to watch is coming up in 2 weeks. It'll be agendized. Coming up on 2 weeks will be the vote on whether to continue the urgency ordinance on the planning moratorium.
That's right.
There's going to be a lot of angsty meetings.
Angsty.
All right,
That's
interesting.
Yeah.
That's my Board of Supervisors
rant.
We're back. Yeah.
You attended Board of Supervisors today.
I did.
Yes, and you were there for a long time.
Yes, bouncing back and forth. We went over to election office and stuff like that, and it was so many people there that literally you had to step out to breathe. Almost, it was a little bit that way.
A little bit that way, huh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, what's going on tomorrow? You have something coming up tomorrow, don't you?
Tomorrow, the Ebbets Pass Veterans Memorial District Board is going to go and basically present their memorial that's actually been built at the firehouse in Arnold.
Great.
Station 1.
Now, is it out in front?
It's out in front.
Okay.
It's right near. It's sort of near the big door. It's set back. So it's a veterans memorial that actually.
So are you going to speak? Is it speech time? Is it? Out
I
in
don't
front?
think it's a speech. It's
no?
just like okay, here it is. Yes, here
kind
it is.
Kind of like a ribbon
kind
cutting
of like
type
a ribbon
of thing?
cutting.
Okay.
Yes,
right.
yes. And this isn't the first memorial. The Ebbets Pass Veterans Memorial Board has actually sort of been the behind the scenes person to get going. The one at Feeney Park was as well.
Okay.
And the board is actually working on one for Murphy's Park as well. And we're just trying to figure some little county stuff out to get that one going as well.
Oh, because that's technically under the county bailiwick now, or no?
Well, it's... Nobody can seem to quite figure out. I know we're live here, but...
Okay, all right.
Whether we need a building permit to build it or not.
Okay.
So anyhow, but anyway, kudos to Jim Carlin, who's a board member, for getting this memorial actually put in and everything organized out there at the firehouse. And it is a beautiful memorial to honor the veterans who have served in our community. So.
And on a local note, sports note, pre-big game.
That's right.
Pre-big game. This is a very fascinating thing here. Now, let's see. KCRA is running a poll to see which football game they're going to send a crew to and call their game of the week. And they're going to, the one that gets the most votes, they're going to have it to where. They send Del Rogers and the some of their A crew.
Yes.
And we're going to be there broadcasting we're going to be there broadcasting as well, but I don't know if we would.
Are you the B crew?
Probably Z crew, the Z crew. But no, we're going to broadcast live probably from about 5:30 on from the big game. Now this morning, voting ends at 9 p.m. tonight. All right, voting ends at 9 p.m. It is now 5:45 as we're doing this. Amador at Argonaut has 64,404 votes at 44%.
Look at that.
Bret Hart at Calaveras was ahead by 400 votes a couple of hours ago, and it is now 64,284. So now Bret Hart at Calaveras is
a little
down. But if I was KCRA, if you get 60-some thousand there and another 60,
that's a
you
huge
send
amount.
Crews to both games. I mean, this is one of those.
That's more people voting that live in the county.
Oh yeah. And the next game matchup that is even close, number 3 is at 7,000.
Yes.
I mean, so basically the foothill is going all out
to try and beat each other out.
Yeah, and it's literally everybody going, okay, go back and vote, go back and vote, go back and vote. So,
can you vote multiple times?
Obviously.
Well, maybe all those Central Valley people are going
I don't know what type
of the big game.
I don't know what type of system they have, because on our polls on our site, we basically block it by IP address.
Yeah.
So if you're going to try to rig the vote on the PineTree.net, the best way is be on a dial-up connection, and then just dial up again, vote, dial up, because each time you dial up, you would get a different IP address, right?
Oh, that's true.
But if you're on DSL or Comcast, or for most of those that you have a static or semi-static IP address, you're going to be able to vote once per poll.
Exactly.
On this one, I can't imagine, with 64,000 votes from Calaveras alone,
there's a lot of dial-up people out there, though, still in the county.
So they probably have like 20 people, like the designated, okay, log off, dial-up vote, log off, dial-up vote.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how they're, I know. Here we go. Let's vote. Let's see. Bret Hart at Calaveras will vote. There we go. Okay, 64327. Let's vote again. Vote. Oh, it takes it again. Oh. So literally. So while we're finishing the news here, we'll just keep running up the vote here. So we'll just
keep voting.
Yeah, we'll just keep voting.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
we'll just so I guess it looks like there's lots of people around right now that are
They're
just
sitting
doing
at their
this.
computers,
we're
exactly.
voting. So anyway, we thought that was kind of a neat little human interest.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And other little sort of light news, Alchemy is having their Tuesday night winemakers dinner tonight. Are you going to that after the show?
I don't have time to do anything.
No. Anyway, it's on at the corner of Main Street, actually, at Murphy's, and they're going to have Lorraine Wines with Tom Dweenan. Dweenan? Is that how you pronounce his name? On country guitar. So, as soon as you finish watching us and you're nearby, go enjoy it.
Yeah.
And are we on to a little bit of state news? This is interesting state news today, actually. One of the headlines is Schwarzenegger orders plans for 10% budget cuts. Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger, this is from the LA Times, on Monday ordered all state departments to draft plans for deep spending cuts after receiving word that California's budget is plunging further into the red, largely because of the troubled housing market.
Huh.
Yes, so that actually is not a good thing. 10% is actually a pretty high number.
Yeah.
It's a pretty high number. And then also San Francisco Chronicle, Bay Area writers back away from keyboards and strike solidarity. As soon as the Writers Guild of America declared a strike early Monday morning, David Webb Peoples buried his latest script, Stompanado, in his Berkeley home. Peoples, the Oscar-winning screenwriter of Unforgiven, whose credits also include Blade Runner and 12 Monkeys, has been working on a biopic about the gangland figure Johnny Stompanato, who was slain in 1958 by the daughter of his lover, Lana Turner.
So I guess the moral of this is, if you want to be, there's never been a better time to be a scab. If you're an aspiring...
If you're an aspiring screenwriter or television writer, this is the time. But you know what? This is the time. It really does bring new blood into the business.
So if you're,
that's the catch-22 about it.
Think that, if you've been watching a sitcom and think, I could do that, now's your chance.
Yes.
Right? Or at least because now they'll probably think, okay, the first couple of weeks now we're not going to look at any new material, but if the strike drags on, drags on, and they think, uh-oh.
That's right. They need people.
If if being a scab doesn't bother you,
then that would be the
time.
This would be the time.
Scab it up, baby. Yep. Scab it up.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, there are non-union shops down there, though.
Well, I think, and this is one of the things that I think is kind of fun about the web. All right, and what we're doing here with the news in some small way.
Yeah, but you know, part of this is about the new media too.
I know. It's web driven.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And where the typical writers fit into the new media.
And I think this is a struggle with a lot of the media outlets are facing. You know, not just this in particular. And I think one of the things they're talking about is DVD sales. But I thought was interesting in the negotiations is they basically said, forget it on DVD sales, which DVD sales as a potential revenue probably peaked. So that I think they're willing to negotiate away some of their DVD revenue for increases in how they're going to get a piece of web revenue.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is kind of that non-existent web revenue yet that everybody thinks will be coming, but, you know.
Although the big news organizations, the News Corps of the world, are very concerned about Google.
Yeah.
And how Google is changing the face of news and making it different. I mean, the newspapers on their online versions are actually writing to make sure that Google picks them up.
There is a style. There is a style.
Of course, we get pulled up on Google all the time.
Sometimes we do.
Yeah.
Oil, it's $97. We'll just let it.
We'll let that.
We'll just let that oil hit 97 a barrel.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
And also, in case you haven't heard, there was a call for impeachment of Vice President Cheney today. And instead of tabling the impeachment resolution, it was a Democrat that introduced it, Kucinich, and they had to debate the resolution, and they were unable to convince their own Liberal caucus to support the bill, so it died.
Yeah, I heard one kind of derisive comment. It was from another Democrat.
Yes, I have it right
Kucinich.
here.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you see this? Alcee Hasty. She tells Fox News, Dennis Kucinich is on a quest of his own. He sees flying saucers and he acts like one too.
That's
Can you
not very
imagine?
nice.
Can you imagine?
Oh,
That's a terrible thing
I
to
know. Poor Dennis.
say. Terrible.
Anyway,
so in
Should we
case
do
you
weather?
didn't know, that's what's happened on the national front today.
weather.
Also, Prince is looking at suing his fans for using his image on the internet.
Prince, that's always a good PR strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Sue your fans. Yes, sue your fans.
Absolutely.
All right. Now, there's a
Okay,
guy that
yeah.
doesn't get it at all.
No.
Arnold
Okay.
weather. Low of 50 tonight, high of 69 tomorrow, 66 on Thursday, and 60 with the possibility of showers Friday, and a 30% chance of showers for the big game Friday night.
Okay. Murphy's weather. Wednesday, sunny, a high of 83 degrees. Thursday, sunny with a high of 77 degrees. And Friday, a high of 69 with actually a 20% chance of showers.
Bear Valley, to our friends at a higher elevation. Low of 38 tonight, a sunny 67 tomorrow, high of 62 on Thursday, 57 with a 20% chance of rain on Friday, and 40% chance with a 36 on Friday night. So a couple degrees cooler. They may get a little
Snow.
little bit of flakes in there.
Yep. Angels Camp. Wednesday, sunny with a high of 79 degrees. Thursday, sunny with a high of 71 degrees. And Friday, partly sunny with a high of 67 degrees. And it's Friday night that they're looking at showers.
For our friends in Bangor, Maine, they had 48 degrees with rain today. Tomorrow, 48 for a high with a 27 as a low, 43 and 24 on Thursday, and 42 and 24 on Friday.
Wow.
That's
a little chilly.
8 degrees below freezing. So that's
a
why
little
they say
chilly.
Bangor, Maine. That's why they say Maine has 2 seasons:
Cold and hot.
winter and July.
Winter and July.
That's it.
Okay. Valley Springs, Wednesday, high of 79 degrees. Thursday, a high of 71 degrees. And Friday, a high of 66 degrees and a little cloudy. Wednesday and Thursday should be sunny. You have Copperopolis weather?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Let's see if we can get to Copperopolis weather. You'll be able to get there faster than me.
Oh, I don't know. This is great TV. Watching
Here we
people type.
go. Wednesday, 78 degree high. Thursday, 72 degrees. And Friday, 67 degrees with a little cloud cover.
See, I'm just going to sit over here and vote.
That's right.
Here we go.
You just keep
Vote.
voting.
There we go.
Voting.
64,449. Oh, we're still.
We're still at 44%.
Yeah, still, but I mean, it's statistically a dead heat, but people just keep
Voting.
voting.
Just
Here we
go to
go.
your computers
Just
and
go
keep
vote.
voting.
Just, you know
That's
what?
right.
Let's see if we can bring them in the lead. Here we go. Oh, we better go.
Yeah.
All right. We thank you very much.
Yes,
Go
we
vote
do.
for lots of different things.
That's
just
right.
Vote in general.
That's right.
Good night.
Good night.